Back in 1970, I received a personal invitation from the United States government to become part of the United States Army. Back then we had this thing called the draft. Well, after just a few months of training, I found myself halfway around the world in a place called Vietnam, where there just happened to be a war going on. The experiences that I had during that time became this book, Don't Play with Things That Go Boom. It's not a book about famous battles or grand military strategy. It's the story of an ordinary young man, me, trying to figure out how to survive Army life and maybe grow up a little along the way. Now, I served in an artillery unit on several fire bases. I also worked as a medic. I even had a job as a clerk, typing, stuff like that. Now, there were frightening moments. There were also serious moments. And there were moments that, more than 50 years later, still make me laugh. This book is not a history of the Vietnam War. It's a collection of stories about people I met, mistakes I made, places I worked, and lessons that I learned. Now, if you're a veteran, some of these stories will seem familiar. If you had a relative or a friend who served during the Vietnam era, this book might give you a glimpse of what their life might have been like a little bit that they don't always talk about. And if you're simply interested in what it was like for an ordinary American kid to suddenly find himself halfway around the world in a war zone, I think you'll enjoy the stories. I was simply one of the millions of young Americans whose lives were interrupted by the Vietnam War. And this is my small piece of that much larger story. After all these years, I thought those stories were worth preserving, and so I wrote the book. It's available in paperback and on ebook from Amazon. You'll find a link in the description below this video if you're interested in checking it out. And remember, one of the most important lessons that I learned during my time in the Army was, don't play with things that go boom.